The power of the major scale. Let's get some vocabulary down in the key of D major. Let's break that down. Okay, so the major scale, it's definitely the most important thing in terms of music theory that any guitar player can get down. It's created by producing a pattern of whole steps and half steps. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Whole, half, whole, half. There we are in the key of D major, giving us the notes. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Alright, before I jump into showing you some licks using the major scale, let's get down some scale positions here. So we can play it rooted off of the A string, overlapping the D major chord, played as an A shape, that would look like this. Okay, so in that A-shaped position, D major, we have frets 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 6, 7. Right there, that's one octave. All right, then we're gonna have B string 5, 7, high E string 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, if you wanna make it to the next octave. Okay, and of course we can scale down. And also go down into a lower octave. Okay, so there, that lower octave, 5, 4, 7, 5, 3, 2, 0. And back to D on the 5th fret A string. Okay, so that's the D major scale in the A-shaped position. That's not a position that I tend to solo in very often, though I do tend to use that position to set up some arpeggio ideas. It's also connected to the D major scale in its G-shaped position, which is super useful for soloing. One of the main reasons for that is that it overlaps with the very simple but versatile major pentatonic scale position. Okay, so this is the D major scale in its G-shaped position. Just taking a G chord, transposing it up so that way the root note's a D note. Playing the chord, surrounding that shape. We have that beautiful and very powerful position of the D major scale. That's gonna be 10, 7, 9, 10, D string 7, 9, G string 6, and 7 for one octave. Next octave, we're going up to 9, B string 7, 8, 10, and then the high E string 7, 9, 10. All right, if you're gonna walk away from this lesson with anything, let it be the D major scale, or just really any major scale in its G-shaped position. Okay, that is something that you can take fret to fret. The note you start from is the key you're playing it in. So if someone plays you an A major chord and you want to solo, find an A note with your pinky, and let it rip. All right, now the last position I want you to get down before we learn some licks is the D major scale played in its E-shape position. Taking an E chord, transposing it up, changing the fingers around, we find that D major bar chord. Overlapping with that shape, the D major scale once again. That's gonna be 10, 12, the A string 9, 10, 12, the D string 9, 11, 12, and right there we have an octave. All right, next octave, G string 9, 11, 12, and the B string 10, 12, high E string 9, 10, 12. And right here's your root note. Okay, so play through that. Make sure you say the names of the notes as you play. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Repeat. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Preferably, you're gonna sing as you play. Of course, that's gonna get pretty tricky as you get up into that second octave. Okay, now you have the D major scale in 3 crucial positions. The A shape position. You have it in the very popular G shape position. And you have it in the E shape position. Okay, now that we have those positions down, we can start to play and understand some very sweet melodic licks. Okay, that first lick that I played, I'm picturing the D major scale over top of its E shape position. But I'm also picturing the D major 7 chord played in this kind of staircase looking shape. Frets 12, 11, 10, 9. This is a very cool, very useful melodic figure that I can kind of arpeggiate to create melodies out of. All right, I call that my staircase trick. I'm gonna start off doing a slur down the high E string. So 12, 11, 10, 9, all with pull-offs. That's gonna take some practice. All right, then I can go down that staircase. All right, so 10, 11, 12, descending down the D string, and then going back up to fret number 11. So, all right, then we're gonna play. That was 7, 9, 5, 7, open D string, getting you to the D major chord in its open position. So, a little bit slower. All right, that's gonna have a little bit of a syncopated rhythm, right? And it gets you to lick number 2, this time picturing the D major scale in that G-shaped position. One more time, 1 and 2 and... All right, so I started off hitting the open D string, strumming through the D chord, and then going back to the open D. Counting 1 and 2 and... That sets up my lick, getting into the scale position. Okay, breaking that down into 2 different parts. That's part number 1. 7th fret of the B string, going up a half step and pulling off. Then we're gonna play 9 on the G, and then back to 7 on the B. Next, we're just gonna scale down before returning to the root note, the 7th fret of the G string, a D note. Okay, so far you have. All right, you're gonna end that lick with the open D string. Putting licks 1 and 2 together, we should have. And 2 and... All right, now notice, at the beginning of lick number 2, I put a heavy vibrato on that first note. So 1 and 2 and... All right, then in my demonstration, I played a D major chord and a G and an A before getting into our final lick, which looks and sounds like this. Once again, drawing from that D major scale in its G-shaped position, but throwing in some chromatics. And resolving. Okay, so that's something that we can easily break into a few different parts. Part number 1, part number 2, part number 3. Alright, that first part, I'm strumming a little piece of the D major chord, and then going up chromatically. Alright, connecting notes that we have inside the scale, that's always an option. Next, I'm going to arpeggiate that exact same chord shape. Next, I'm going to reach my pinky out to the 10th fret A string, alright, to end that second part. Okay, then the final part. It might be helpful for you to picture the D major pentatonic scale instead for this part. Just sliding up to fret 9 on the A, and then the D string, 7, 9, 7. Then you can resolve to a D major chord, but I like to use all 6 strings. Alright, give me frets. 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, put all those licks together and we have a full practice routine, getting started with that descending staircase lick. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and G and A and just like that.